About 2 hours after it was posted, it already pulled 120 likes. So that means a lot of people
feel this way.
So I'm rather disappointed this evening. Honestly, just really sad, maybe angry. One of my closest friends, whom I've expressed my love for 14, after months of talking about it with, seemed really excited about finally being able to join me during the Xbox beta, since that's all he plays on. But when he and some other friends came over to just hang out, he said he forgot his Xbox. Next time maybe. I just tried to brush it off. Sometime during the night, after a few drinks, another person in our group mentioned another game that came out recently with mass popularity, and my friend said I'd rather play that than 14 because it's grittier and darker, which is what I really like. 14 looks too pretty and shiny. It's not grim enough. It stung, like in the moment really hurt. But I just kept my mouth shut because the game they mentioned is good, and I'm not here to bash on other games. What I'm most hurt over is that I feel like I've been led on for months, thinking that we'd finally be playing together. The night, as we'd planned, was set around getting them familiar with the world, setting up their UI, running their first few duties, and introducing them to this incredible community. Now, it all just seemed like they intentionally forgot their console because they were afraid to tell me from the beginning that they just didn't want to play. I get that, though. Not everyone is going to like what I like. But why make plans with me, casually act like you forgot, then drop comments like that with me sitting 3 feet from you? I don't think they realized that what they said hurt me so much. I dropped the conversation and just shut down intellectually for the rest of the night until they all left. I think I'm just going to give up now. Everyone I tell friends or family about this game, they just don't seem interested in the end. I'm fine running solo and occasionally make new friends at random in-game. I've been doing it for 4 years now, but it's so infrequent, really. I think I'm done. I don't want to keep getting my hopes up and thinking the people closest to me who feign interest would have bothered giving 14 a chance. I'll just keep my head down now and play with the rest of you. See you in game. Thank you for your time.
Damn.
And then I commented, I said, I'm lucky to be a part of a fairly popular FF stream. That's you guys. You guys are the ones that make it popular. On Twitch, would you like to come on stream and tell the story sometime? And that was about a week ago. They've had time to come through now. We popular. I mean,
yeah.
you guys pushed us up that list quite a bit. We got 85 people in here right now. Let's friggin' go. Okay, let's go.
Like, for real, when I read this, it kind of like stung a bit because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people in here that experience this, but there's been times where I've been really into a game and it like sucks playing by yourself, and when you finally get a friend that's interested in something you really enjoy, it's exciting. You finally have somebody to share your favorite game with.
You just get to nerd out.
Yeah, better. And then for them to just be like, nah, never mind. It just sucks.
That really does suck.
And especially in a game where you're like, you know what happens, like, you know, like how crazy the MSQ story is, the connection to the game, how amazing like the community is in the game. And you can't tell the person, because if I was to sit and tell somebody the MSQ story, A, that would suck. But 2, I don't think it would hold much weight because they didn't go through it. They didn't like get the experience or like get the connection to the characters and get that emotional feel. And it just sucks. So many of my IRL friends just brushed me off on FF so blatantly, like legit angrily refused to give it a chance. I just have FF friends and IRL friends, different groups.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not talking trash, but Jasmine's like childhood friend group and stuff. Whenever we're playing this game, they're like, "Oh, you guys are playing Final Fantasy again," and it's like, I mean, if you gave it a shot, I feel like you'd like it too.
It's so crazy that people will sit and make fun of you for something that they don't understand. Like, they have this perception of what something is without even like doing the research or knowing what it's about. And based on stereotypes, they make judgment, and then they like make, you know, assumptions of what it is when it's not. Like, when they're saying that it's too grim and like pretty and it's, you know, and the other game's darker. Have y'all not done Shadowbringers? Like, it's like the game is nuts. It's so dark. Kind of mixed bag of reactions to this game. Some few friends joined me from outside to play. Some hate me for it, and I've lost touch. But on the other edge of the blade, I've met my roommate through this game, and I've met my partner through this game, and so many more friends from inside that have moved to IRL friends.
All right, Jasmine, you wanna accept the call there?
Yeah, and I can put it on my screen. I'm in the call. Are they okay with us showing?
Yeah. And then just to be clear with you, are you fine with us putting you up on the big screen?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting like a little bit of double speak here.
I see. Okay,
Perfect.
got it.
Hi.
Welcome in.
Okay, we got it set up.
If you would like, go ahead and introduce yourself, what you go by, who you are, a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm VictorySpin. I go by Viss. I've been playing Final Fantasy off and on for about 10 years. I actually started in 1.0 when it first dropped.
No way.
Oh, wow.
My computer couldn't run it, so I had to I had to wait until the PS3 release a couple of years after that. But then I experienced my first wave of being bullied, so I pretty much just dropped playing that game. I think there was just like an influx of like really toxic players from other games coming in. But a friend of mine got me back into it around the time Shadowbringers dropped, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll check it out." But at the time, I still didn't have a computer that could run it. I couldn't play it on PS3. It was just kind of a headache getting back into it. But once pandemic hit, my wife and I had bought a new house, and we used the equity from our previous house to like just splurge. So I built myself a pretty awesome rig, and I finally started playing Final Fantasy 14 again from the very beginning, and it has been a freaking journey. I feel like I've emotionally and mentally I've just developed based off of how like all the story elements have like really impacted my life. And I would say that like it's been a mental health regime for me to play at least once or twice a week, but there are times where I just like immerse myself for like hours on end till I realize, oh my god, it's already Monday. So
Oh my goodness, I feel like we've all been through that. Well, before we get into the
Yeah.
to the post,
The game's roller coaster is insane.
Oh, it
like,
is.
Emotional roller coaster
It really is.
insane.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, you're gonna make a lot of friends and a lot of enemies with this question. Who is your favorite Scion?
Oh my gosh, Seth.
My favorite Scion. Oh my gosh. Alize.
Alize.
What do you have
Alice,
against
yeah.
Alice? I like Alice.
She's so moody.
I like the
She's
feisty
sass.
tomboy kind of girl, and my wife is actually the same way. So
Maybe that's why you don't like it.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah.
They said acceptable answer. I agree. I honestly agree. Also would have
Yeah.
accepted Tataru. True. That's a good one.
Tataru is a pretty close second. Yeah.
I love Tataru.
I think I've been pushed towards Graha.
Oh,
Graha's
really?
pretty awesome. I like him.
Yeah.
Especially in Shadowbringers, I was like, oh my god, that was that guy. Like close to the end, it was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that was a huge part of our MSQ
Yeah.
bump there, where we were just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm all in on it.
See, for me, Astinian put his hair
I don't
in a
know how many
ponytail.
people on your stream are so. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said like for me it was when Astinian put his hair in a ponytail. And then
Oh, Estinian. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, what were you saying?
So towards.
Oh, I was gonna.
No, go on.
Yeah, sorry. No, sorry, I completely forgot what I was saying.
To the post that you made, I know that I don't know how recent it was that it happened when you made the post. Is there anything that you want to add or subtract from it? Anything that you want to clarify?
So yeah, the incident occurred the night before I made that post. My friends and I had like agreed to like come over and all hang out, play different games, because we have like all our different tastes or whatever. But we had like a pretty awesome setup, and we are just gonna drink and eat, have fun, and game in our own little like respective corners, playing either Mario Kart, Smash Bros, or Final Fantasy as I had planned. I would say, like, based off of the reactions I got in the post, a lot of people were saying you can't force that on him, and not everyone's gonna like what you like. I was like, I understand that, but the way that he and I had communicated over the past several months, he genuinely seemed into it, and I actually had shown him like the gameplay and some of the raids that I go on, and he was pretty blown away by it. So I understood that like he genuinely wanted to play, but in his drunken stupor, he I guess he said something not he didn't think it through. He kind of said it just out of, you know, I don't know. He just kind of said it reactively, like, that game's too shiny and pretty for me. I'd rather play something dark and gritty like this other game that you guys have been talking about. The other game, by the way, was Baldur's Gate 3. The game
No
itself,
way.
I love that game.
Dang,
It's
I lost a
magnificent.
bet.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure it out. I was like, what other game could it be? We were trying to figure it out. Our first guess was Helldivers, because I think that was really big at the time that your post
Yeah.
Right.
was
Yeah.
dropped.
Helldivers, I'm planning to get in on that too, but I kind of wanted to take a break from the shooter type of games, because he and I in the past had played a lot of shooters, and it became exhausting and not really good for me mentally, because I found like I was more stressed out if I had like drunken bins playing that game with him. Like I'd be always like, how did he know I was there? And then I'd be like, why am I dead again? You know, it was just it was too much anger for me to I was like so I was like, I need to take a break from this kind of game. I need something a little more relaxing, something I just need to, you know, chill with and like not really care about the competitive nature of it all. So Final Fantasy is always a fallback for me, if not like the top of my list favorite game. So I told him that if you want to play something relaxing other than Stardew Valley, join me on Final Fantasy when you get the chance to. Xbox is putting on the beta, so you can definitely try it out. And he was like, yeah, I definitely want to jump in on that. There is an upside to the story. I don't know if I want to like disclose it just yet, but in the moment that he expressed like, yeah, I'd rather not play it, it's too shiny, I was like,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
I have some people that
he judged the book by its cover.
I was saying this earlier on stream, like I don't understand why there's just people will have a perception of something before even trying it, and they use that like to judge and already like have an opinion on something. I hear that a lot with Final Fantasy, where people will say that it's too much of a weeb game, or it's too shiny, or like, you know, all that stuff. But it's like, now that I've played the game and I'm in Endwalker right now, it's not that. Like, it's very much, I'm like, have y'all not been in Shadowbringers? Like, that was a horror game in itself. Like, it is not that at all. And you can't necessarily explain it to someone, because I feel like it doesn't hold as much weight when you don't go through it emotionally and have those connections to the characters. So it's just like, it's a tough thing to like sell the game on someone without, I don't know, like being able to explain stuff. Chat did have a question for you. They were wondering, was your friend not completely honest with you, or was he just easily like influenced by either other people or?
So yeah, after about 4 or 5 days of like just cooling off and just like letting my nerves like relax over the issue, this was really touching and really amazing. This just showcases how awesome my wife is. My wife also plays Final Fantasy off and on. She mostly just crafts and likes doing the island sanctuary bits. But she messaged my friend. He's my best friend, by the way. He's practically a brother to me. She messaged him and said, "Hey, you need to hash things out with Viss." So I told I got on the phone with him. I said, "Hey, let's meet up. Let's just talk. It doesn't have to be about really anything, any of our responsibilities day to day. Let's just talk. Let's have some bro time or whatever." So he came over last night. We had a few drinks and we sat down and just kind of talked things over. And I asked him, like, did you really have any intention of playing or not? And he's like, no, I really did. And your wife told me what I had said and how it really affected you. And I was like, I didn't really ask her to do anything about it. I just expressed my frustrations to her about it, and I said, I'm just going to drop it. Let him do whatever he wants. It's it's his Xbox. I'm not going to force anything on him. But he did come to me and said, "I'm sorry. What I said in that moment, I honestly didn't mean. It was I blame the drunkenness, and honestly, the game is beautiful, and I do want to play in that world, because that world, especially in the nighttime, whenever you see the skies, he loves those vistas. He said, I want to be immersed in a world like that. So I said, if you still have the beta download and if you have your Xbox with you, let's hook it up and let's just play tonight. And he's like, that was my plan. I need to make it up to you, and I really need to give it a shot. So we did, and he played from like, oh my gosh, I can't really recall, but we played a good 5 hours straight.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Yay!
He could not put it down, and he was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. Oh my god, this is so awesome. He was like running around like a little kid in a candy store. It was so fun, and like just it was so touching. I kind of like had to hold back a few tears because he was like jumping around, like, I'm here, I'm in this world, let's go.
I'm so glad.
He got it. Me too. I felt so.
Yay.
I felt so touched in that moment. Just that he was actually there giving it a shot, and he did apologize. He like I told him, like, I don't want you to feel bad over what was said. I don't want you to like think that I'm angry with you. I just wanted to let you know that, you know, in the moment we both had been drinking. We both said things or didn't say things. Just it's whatever. Let's just enjoy our night and just have fun. Let's introduce you to this world. And there were a bunch of people that just popped in like, hey, I'm a Sprout too, or like, hey, welcome to the world. And so I was just ready to go with him, man.
That's so awesome. And it's better to, like, in a situation, have a friend or someone that you're introducing the game to not like it because they gave it a shot, you know, and to not like just not give it a try at all. Because Final Fantasy is so amazing, especially like you said, getting involved in the community. I remember off stream, I was so addicted when I first started playing the game. And so I made an offline account to just play up to MSQ by myself, like, of what I did on stream, because I was that addicted, but couldn't go farther off stream, you know? And so I made a Lalafell account. And because my main is an Aura, so I made a Lala, and I remember I was in Limsa, and I was just a Lala, and I was like reading stuff and kind of like learning the game, and all of a sudden a group of Lalas just formed around me, and they're all going like, whoa, whoa, and then they were all like welcoming me to the game and like teaching me the ways of the Lala. They taught me that I'm a potato, and they said like it was just so fun, and I was just standing there, but they saw the Sprout icon, and that just really opened me to the community, and I made so many friends. And so if your friend ever wants to like get involved in a community, even if they don't want to like be on stream, we have that. And like if you ever want to run stuff, like, we're so excited when new people come to the game because we're new, and it's just, I don't know, I love this community. They're so awesome.
On that as well, I was actually going to ask. I was going to ask if they had tried it since, because it had been a week. So I'm really glad that they did. So I'll actually want to change that question a little bit and ask what race did they pick? What did they choose to roll as, race and class?
So he is, I wouldn't call him like alpha male type, because he's very he's very open and very progressive, but he wanted to be like the beefy Viking type, so he chose the Roganen, male Roganen.
Hell yeah!
Oh heck yeah!
And I actually have a photo that screenshot that I took before he logged off of him. I can share it with you.
Oh please!
Yes.
This real quick. I'll just send a Facebook message to you, and you can drop it in the chat.
Are you able to send it in the Discord chat? I apologize.
Oh yeah.
Like in FF Media or something?
Yeah, I just don't want to accidentally open anything or show stuff that's not meant to be shown.
A lot of Xbox player going male rogue. Do you think it's or male rogue? Do you think it's based on like feeling that in like World of Warcraft or something?
I heard this on a D&D podcast once, and it was that one of the best ways to really get in touch with yourself is to choose classes and things that you aren't yourself, because that will kind of open you up and give you an opportunity to like really role play into that. So yeah, that's kind of funny, picking the big Rogaden and trying to go full alpha. Oh, I have it here.
Isn't that what Noah plays? Our friend.
Yes.
He has the big puff like Elvis on the
Jasmine, if you want to full screen mine for a second,
Yes,
you
I
can
can
come
do
back to
that.
this.
Oh, that's so cute. You got, oh my gosh, you got the emote. I love it.
Yeah, with the Valentine's emote. That's amazing.
Our chat Lork, he said darn, but he's a bunny boy IRL, so he picked his character. He picked himself. He said. Interview, yes.
Cat boys, just because I had always felt like they had like that sporty nature to them, where like they just like would be ready to bounce around and just like run around for an adventure. And then I saw when I had first started playing that there was a lack of like human characters, and I was like, I think I kind of want to self-represent a little bit, and so I made my male hero character, and I've stuck with that for all these
Now
years
that you
now.
said that, I actually haven't seen a lot.
Oh,
of
and
human.
when you do see them, that's almost always, I call it John Final Fantasy. They look just like the guy from the trailer, so
Yeah.
it's actually
Yes!
refreshing to see yours.
They do. Now that you said something, they
Yeah.
do, and it's noticeable. Like when you see them, you go,
Yeah.
that is cool. I like that you picked that.
Kid Boo from our chat says, I play
Yeah.
female characters in games because I personally don't want to hear a dude grunting in my headset all day.
I didn't even think about that. Because of all the moves and
I
stuff.
I alternately have a female character that I play, a female Viera, because recently I had come out as gender fluid to a few of my friends, including my best friend and my wife, and everyone that I've told has
awesome.
been like extremely supportive of me. So I kind of jump back and forth between my main character and my alternate, and just kind of like I just feel good about jumping between those two, because I wouldn't say that there's a line between them. It's just the separation of story and like the progress they've made in game. But I honestly feel like they're just the same character, and I just feel like rather play this one or play that one. I don't want to spend money on
My chat's just so excited you picked a bun girl.
redoing it.
Yeah, when we recently did a subathon, and one of the goals was we had a Fantasia into like another race for I think like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks.
Right.
Lalafell almost won, but by a vote we got Vera, and then so we were buns for the longest time. And oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many people everyone loves Vera. I just couldn't wear any of my hats. I didn't have any glam that worked, so that sucked. But I was kind of sad to swap back. I kind of miss my bun, not gonna lie.
I'm checking my talking points here, but I feel like you've answered a lot of the questions that I had. One question that was kind of answered in the post, but I kind of wanted to elaborate on. Are there other people that you've tried to share the game with that have tried it or have not tried it? And I think the post leaned towards people not giving it a shot.
Yeah, like me, there were people that had started the game in 1.0, or when it was originally re-released back in like I think it was like 2012 or 2013. Can't quite remember. But they had like completely dropped off, and I had told them like the community is different. The game took a little bit of time to find ground, and it's won accolades, and this community has really made it what it is. It's a beautiful, amazing community that's very supportive. Now, I mean, every now and then I still come across those toxic players, but I mean they're easily ignorable and blacklisted. So one of my other friends, he was actually one of my groomsmen. He had played 14 long ago, but he stopped playing for a time, but then he jumped back in, and then his husband actually started playing it because of him also. So I was like, I just I really sold them on it. I introduced my wife to it a few years ago, and she doesn't really raid. She doesn't really do a lot of the combat scenarios, but she likes to farm. She likes to gather. She likes to do all the crafting bits. So I was like, yeah, you really like this, and she got immersed in it. She's taking a break now, but she for a while we actually got into Diablo 4, and I've never seen her more excited about
Oh
slaughtering
my
the
gosh,
demons
that's
or
amazing.
whatever.
That was me when I first tried
So
a
I
Diablo
told her
game.
about
Oh yeah.
I told her about House of the Dead, and I said like it's a procedurally generated, series of dungeons and floors that you just like go up and up and up, and you like start from level 1 and continue on. And she's like, "Let's go!"
Dude,
And
it's
I was like,
so
"Okay,
good. I
so
remember when you
we're gonna
showed me
like."
that.
Also, super. I got your message and saw
It's
it.
gonna be
We are super
really fun
excited
when we
for
all like
Notice.
get
We
our
will check
schedules
that out.
synced
Actually,
together.
I'll make sure we see that.
Adulting is not fun.
Yeah, there's like I do have to say like I'm happy that this was a game that I streamed instead of playing by myself, because the community really made the game and for me. And like the first day that I tried it, I gotta be honest, like when I saw Final Fantasy, I was kind of like, meh, it might not be my game either. But then they were doing the free trial, and we were trying to find a new game to stream. And so I recently had tried, technically my first MMO. We tried a little bit of WoW Classic. I've tried on retail, and it was too stressful. So we went back, we tried Classic. And now that I had like an understanding of an MMO, I wanted to try another one. And so because they were doing the free trial, we decided to try it. And day one, we had so many people because we're new sprouts, like come in and join us in Gridania and showed us some flying mounts. I remember seeing like some bards. I think they were playing Owl City by Fireflies, or Fireflies by Owl City. And I thought it was so cool. I was like, what? And so we instantly were like, screw it. We're not doing the free trial. We're buying the game. People, like, I'm so glad they had us do Crystal Tower when we were, supposed to. And like, kind of kept us on track to try side quests that could help like impact MSQ, and they just made the whole journey and experience so much better. And I remember we went clubbing for the first time. That was crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, this game has been a blessing, and as a streamer as well as just somebody that has friends that are always looking for new things to do. I couldn't believe how many people came from Wizard 101, came from World of Warcraft, and gave this a shot, and are still here playing the game with us even 6-7 months later after we've started. And yeah, I mean, veteran players like you, they make the game so enjoyable. Just people that have played it for so long and just bring a really kind of shining personality to the game and life to the game.
Yeah. Look, I make it my goal to like get everyone to have an enjoyable and memorable time whenever they jump in. So like people who are like new to it, like I always like greet them. Like if I see a sprout icon next to them, I'm like, hey, what's up? Welcome to the game. And then they say like, oh, I've been playing for like 3 months. It's off, and I'm like, oh, keep at it. You get addicted to it pretty quickly.
See, people like you is really
yeah.
make the game 100%. Like I'm so blessed to like when I'm playing
really
the game and
to.
I meet people like you, because it just makes me want to play more. And I don't know, like when something's not so toxic and you feel so accepted in a new game, it just feels good. Especially if you're kind of like outcasted in real life, and you have people online that care and want to help you. It just I don't know, it just feels good.
I will say that this game, unlike other games where you like create your own character and you get dropped into the world and you do like a slog of storyline and a lot of fighting, this one particularly made me feel like the hero of my own story. Like I had involvement. I wasn't just stuck in there. There was need for me to be there. Like I was integral to the progress of the story, and without me, the rest of the scions and the world in that game would perish. And I really felt like there was emotional weight. There was something to fight for in that game, and that's why I felt so attached and connected to it. It just really made me feel like I belonged in there, and that I'm meant to be there. So that being around other people who feel the same way, I agree. It's huge.
Yeah, I really have to commend the developers on not only making your personal character feel so attached and a part of the developing of the world and access to new zones, but as well as like how they kind of worked it in that it was such an integral part of calling in your friends as well, because we get so excited when we see the orange stone and we're like, oh my gosh, we get to have 14 people from stream jump in now, and we can take this thing on.
I'm like, let's go. I want to see this happen. Let's go.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I really noticed when I played Final Fantasy. I didn't play a lot of WoW, so I can't like speak so much on it, but I never felt that connection of like, wow, I really do matter here. Like I am the hero of the story. When I played, and that was like the first thing I kept saying to Seth. I was like, wow, like every quest, even a side quest, it feels so important, and like the story is insane. And now I understand the meme of all side quests are also MSQ or whatever. Like it's all main story.
Yes.
Because they make it feel like main story.
I don't have too much else. Actually, that's everything on my questions that I had set to ask. I don't want to keep you. If you're willing to answer some questions from chat or anything that chat wants to ask, that's entirely up to you if you want to do that.
Yeah, sure. Just let me know what they say.
Yeah, and we're so blessed like to have met you and honored to have you on the stream. Thanks for wanting to do that. I love meeting people with this game and loving like meeting such kind-hearted people. I can tell you are, and I hope you stick around and maybe play the game with us. There's so many people that were like, adopt them. They're ours now.
That was something that surprised me. Yeah, when I saw that your earlier stream about that and people were like, adopt him. Let's adopt him. I was like, I wanted to just like jump right in, but I was still kind of feeling like I need to take a step back from this. But no, adopt me, please, everybody.
Yes, and no pressure. If you ever like even off stream, like see us online, and you want to invite like there's so many people that love going back and doing old content, and especially helping new players. So if you're ever on with your friend and you want to do that, and Tanaka here says, OMG, I love your hair, in all caps. They are freaking out about you.
I was running so many errands today. I was honestly just really grimy, sweaty, and greasy. So I had to jump in the shower before I got back on, doing whatever it is for the evening. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying to take care of it.
I wish my hair looked like that after a shower. That's not fair. It looks like you took time.
I just like quick towel dried it, rolled it up, and then like just air dried it as I unrolled it. But I was gonna say I've been growing my hair out since high school, and every time it reaches a certain length, I cut it and donate it to cancer patients.
Oh my gosh, I did that once in my life. It was like on bucket list. Me and my sister did it together, and it was before I started coloring my hair. So I grew it really long to my hips, and then I did a pixie cut. And I mean, it was okay. The pixie was cute. I have pictures. I'll have to show you sometime. But growing it back out was such a pain. Like it would get to that awkward length, and I would just cut it again. So
yeah, I want to cut my hair like permanently, like keep it a shorter length. The controlled chaos hairstyle on my character in game. I used to have that hair. Every time like I would cut it, I was just like, give it that like very dramatic bob or whatever. But I haven't been able to really cut my hair to the length that I want or style it the way I want for several years now. I'd say like the last 10 years, I've really been dedicated to just, taking care of it and growing it out and then donating it when possible.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have too many questions coming in, but I have a bunch of demands. People saying, come join us for Hell Divers, things of that nature. And then Tanaka and JDM had a question. Tanaka asks, what do you go by so I can call you the right thing?
I think they're asking
at this time. Yeah, my pronouns. At this time, I'm still like thinking things through, trying to decide, but it's a combination like he, them, or they, them, so if there's even a slip up among friends or people that I've just met, it doesn't bother me. So
gotcha. And then the follow-up question to that, JDM asks, what is your favorite OG Final Fantasy game? Which I'm not sure where the cutoff is for OG, but
like numerical
Yeah, I think so.
ones. I'm
Hi,
guessing.
Anime.
Oh man, that is a really tough one. As much as I loved 7 when I was introduced to the world of Final Fantasy, I would honestly have to say 12.
Oh, I haven't played it
12
haven't
yet.
played
had this
that.
like 12 is amazing if you really give it a chance, and like at some point in the game it really like triggers you to like just dominate every encounter you come across. I think the I would say that 12 was like the archetype for what 14 is based on as far as its combat,
Oh, I
because
got you.
whenever you're fighting, you see the target lines arc over from your character to the enemy and then the enemy back to you if what's going on. Um, and in fact, there's an entire sub storyline of like returning to Evil East, the land that the 12 is based on. The Alliance raid for I think it was like Stormblood was based on the lore of Final Fantasy Tactics 12 and I think Vagrant Story, because those three separate games all took place in the same land, just at like different times. So I was like, 12 is my favorite. Tactics is probably a close second. Maybe they interchange, but Final Fantasy 12 has always like had a very solid and special place in my heart.
I'll have to try 12. I was saying this the other day that I really want to try more FF games. I played a little bit of 10 and that's about it. But we're currently playing through 10, but that's Seth's favorite childhood game. That's what got him into Final Fantasy. And yeah, so 14's technically like my first one, but I definitely want to like play more.
I was gonna say to the Final Fantasy
out
Tactics,
12,
our friend is actually playing through that. Our streamer friend, It's Fizzy. So I might give them a shout out in the chat.
Oh,
in a
she's
second.
awesome. She's live right now. She's really cool. Oh, and Tanaka said to you answering, they were the one that asked about your pronouns. They were appreciating you for answering, and they said, "Oh, trust me, I get that. Heaps of love." They said, "I'm a trans gal.
Thank you.
Myself, I just like to make sure to call people what they prefer, and if whenever you know, just to let them know."
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's so sweet. I also have, I think there was one more person that was, there was a couple of people saying that they agree with you with everything that you're saying about Final Fantasy 12. And there was one person that said, I feel like 12 was harder game for many. Wasn't that the first time they moved away from turn-based?
Yeah, it was like basically like a full like real-time tactical based game. Like you can pause in the middle of a fight to like create an action, but for me, like I wanted that challenge of like
that sounds
really
so
That was cool.
engaging in the moment without having to like pause and think things through. So it was a very reactive game, and you really had to like think on your feet. Just the switch up from it being a turn-based created more urgency and excitement for me. So 12 was one of the best ones that I've ever played.
All right,
and,
I gotta add 12 to my wish list.
I feel like the story didn't really have a main character, even though it kind of like made the main guy, poster boy, whatever. I think his name was Vaughn. They made him like the forefront main character, and then other people argue that Balthier was the main character. But I feel like depending on how you view it and how you personally play, any of the main 6 characters that you have in your party, any of them could be the main character, and I felt like I could identify with a few of them myself. So it felt like I was, in that fight along with them. It made it that much more emotionally connecting for me.
You should give that one a try. I need to play.
Yeah,
I want to play more.
we
FF
definitely need to
games.
give that a shot. Well, thank you so much
you.
for answering our questions and chat's questions. Is there anything that you wanna say or leave us with?
Yeah, just thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. It was an honor. Honestly, I tried streaming several years ago and it didn't really work out. I just don't feel like I have the personality or quirkiness for it, so I just kind of play privately. But thank you for bringing me on here. Being in front of an audience was kind of intimidating and nerve-wracking for me, but I felt like I found my rhythm with it. But to everybody in the stream, thank you so much for having me here, and talk with you and spend time with you. It was it really makes me feel accepted in the community, and I just want to express my appreciation and love for you guys.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And we everyone's saying like thank you so much for sharing and you're welcome. And everyone here, like earlier, they were like, we hope they stick around because they're always so excited to meet new people in the game. Because there's a lot here that have played like alone until they've met this community and having so many people to play with. So they get so excited when somebody new joins our family. So we hope you stick around. And again, if you ever want to like play the game or do anything, we can add each other. I would love to play Final Fantasy. I'm always excited as a newbie.
Yeah,
as a newbie. There's so much side content we haven't done.
I'm looking forward to it.
I want to do the Manderville stuff.
There really is. I'm looking forward to all of it.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
Thank
you.
If you want to give streaming another go, you got a bunch of people here that I'm sure would tune in if you throw it in our self promo. So feel free to do that as well.
I'll deeply consider it. Thank you for putting that out there. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on again.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Aw, I love that. They're so nice. All right, guys, we adopt them. We adopt them.